Tattoo master, share stories when you asked a client, "Are you sure you want to get this tattooed?" A guy came to us and asked to cover his ex-wife's name with a portrait of his new girlfriend. My colleague took the job and tattooed the portrait so that the girlfriend's shirt covered the old tattoo. 2 months later, the guy comes back and asks to redo the portrait of his now ex-girlfriend into a demon. But that is not all. Sometime later, I moved to another studio. And what do you think? The same guy came to us with a third girlfriend and got matching tattoos with her. When we crossed paths at the entrance, he pretended not to recognize me. As they say, third time's the charm. I asked my tattoo artist this question. He said the most curious case was when a guy asked to tattoo bright blue swimming trunks on him. Like, he needed trunks that would cover everything that trunks usually cover. My tattoo artist had to agree, as it was one of his first jobs. He says it was very awkward, but he made good money. Since then, nothing embarrasses him. If everything was really colored in, then respect to the client more than the artist. Enduring such pain takes guts. I already told this story in another thread, but whatever. A couple comes to me and asks to tattoo each other's names. I am against it. I explain that this is usually a bad idea. They insist. I realize if I do not do it, they will get it done somewhere else. I agree. The guy goes first. I do a tattoo across his stomach. And then a twist. Just as I finish his tattoo, his girlfriend immediately starts yelling at him, "Next time you decide to cheat on me with someone, you will think twice." And runs away. I felt very awkward taking money from him for the work. I handled reservations at our salon. Once a woman comes in and says she wants to give her daughter a tattoo for her 16th birthday. I call the owner, the tattoo artist. He is like, "Yeah, no problem. Do you already know what she wants?" The mother answers, "Yes, she wants a Playboy bunny on her wrist." The owner immediately refused. I am not going to do such a cliché, especially on such a young girl. An argument started. The mother got angry, went to the exit, and leaving, said that if not us, another salon would gladly take her money. Our tattoo artist was very principled when it came to tattoos on the face, neck, and hands. At the same time, I remember him tattooing fast food mascots making love on a guy's back. I know several tattoo artists who refuse to do tattoos on the face, neck, and hands of young kids at all. Unless they are already covered to the limit. In our area, if you have such foolish, impulsive works in your portfolio, they can ruin your career as a tattoo artist. So everyone acts at their own risk here. A guy came to our tattoo studio and said he needed to cover up an old tattoo he had regretted for a long time. Everything was fine until he clarified that it depicted a red rocket and was tattooed right on his willy. Hearing this, the male artists did not even want to look at it, let alone redo it. But luckily, one girl agreed to it with the words, "Oh, to hell with it, let's do it. There isn't a single tattoo on a dick in my portfolio yet." She had to hand draw a tuxedo on his hose because the old screw-up could only be covered with a large amount of black ink. It turned out to be such a dapper dick. The guy left happy. The weirdest day at work. Not a tattoo artist, but my dad once got an ugly tattoo with my name and mom's name. Mom was so annoyed by it that one day she sent Dad to get it redone so it would not be so pathetic. Dad went to the tattoo studio and came home with a dolphin covering half his chest. Dad looks in the mirror. Well, yes, it is clearly better this way. I refused to do this tattoo at all. An 18-year-old girl came and asked to write her beloved's name on her tailbone. The funny thing was that she had never seen him. He was in prison, so they only corresponded. He was supposed to get out in 2 weeks, and for this reason, she decided to surprise him. I am by no means judging 18-year-old girls or former prisoners, but something tells me such relationships do not live long. And generally, it is a so-so surprise. Imagine you met a girl on Badoo. You chat, everything is fine, and finally, you decided on a first date. You arrive in here, "I have a surprise for you." You think, "Oh, cool, looks like she has a gift for me." Or maybe she wants to hug me. Or maybe she wants to show me some cool place in the city. But no, this fool got a tattoo with your name on her body. If you find yourself in such a situation, run. You have your whole life ahead of you. Get out right now. My tattoo artist told me a story about how a balding guy came to him and asked to cover his bald spot with black ink. My tattoo artist just colored it with a marker and told him to show himself to his wife like that. That guy never returned. My husband works as a tattoo artist. Once a kid came to us who wanted to get a goat with a pentagram on his throat for his 18th birthday. First tattoo and immediately such a satanic one. I do not know this guy, but I suspect he regrets his decision now. By the way, my husband refused this tattoo then. Some other guy from the salon did it. And since we are on this topic, my asshole father had letters tattooed on his finger phalanges that spelled out the phrase "Go play." As a child, I could never understand what it meant. It dawned on me only at his funeral. Pretty sure he got that crap in prison. A guy came to me once and asked to tattoo a huge bottle of sriracha sauce fluttering on wings on his back. Did you tattoo it? Of course, lol. A guy asked to tattoo a portrait of his girlfriend. It would have been fine, but instead of a photo, he had a screenshot from her Snapchat where she is making a duck face. I jokingly said we could draw her so it looks like she is taking a selfie on her phone. The guy did not get the joke and said it was a great idea. No sooner said than done. At that time, they had been dating for only 6 months, and she did not know he was going to do this at all. A month later, he returned to write her name on top. What a fool, should have tattooed her Snapchat nickname. A man came to us and asked me to tattoo Monica Lewinsky on his belly. I bet he regrets it now. Does his name happen to rhyme with Bill Clinton? When I worked in prison, I had to document all tattoos and scars of new prisoners. Once I came across a guy who had your name tattooed on his carrot. I told him it was kind of weird for 2 reasons. First, why subject yourself to such pain? Second, some big biker tattoo artist had to hold his hose in his hand. To which the prisoner replied that the pain was not that bad, and that it was worth it, as this tattoo brought him a lot of money. When he was on the outside, he would approach strangers in a bar and say, "Bet you $50 I have your name tattooed on my dick." And people, understandably, did not know about this joke and agreed. I do not know, maybe he lied a little, but the story is still funny. My friend recently got a Chinese character meaning soup tattooed on his leg. Here is the proof. He planned this tattoo for about 3 years. According to him, he specifically studied this character inside and out so it would not turn out that he tattooed some nonsense like truth or beauty. Edit. People are writing to me that this is some joke from the Big Bang Theory. I guarantee you he does not know about this topic. This came to his mind more than 3 years ago. Last year I was a guest artist at a studio in Portugal. One evening a kid crashed in who was having a bachelor party and asked to tattoo the names of all his friends on his buns. 13 names on each side. Plus, 3 of his buddies volunteered to sign under their names. Yeah, right, running already. A young guy constantly visited us to get piercings. When he turned 18, he came to us to get his first tattoo. We sat down with him and started discussing what and how best to do it. But he thought for a long time and decided he would get a mathematical equation on his leg. Seeing how seriously he approached the issue, I decided there would be something tricky. But no, the kid asked to tattoo 3 + 4 = 8. I decided to delicately ask if he knew that was the wrong answer, to which he replied, "Of course I know. I just want a funny tattoo." Okay then. And there was a case when I tattooed Scooby-Doo and Shaggy on a guy's butt. Here is a photo if interested. It was one of my early works, now I look at it with nostalgia. Something I do not remember Shaggy having so many pimples. I have a friend who has the squirrel from Ice Age tattooed between his legs, kind of reaching for his nuts. You are in the wrong thread, buddy, you need to go where they write about the most awesome tattoos. Not a tattoo artist, but when I was in high school, we had one kid who got a tattoo of a Slurpee drink on his forearm, which is sold at 7-Eleven. Having pulled off this stunt, he went to the nearest 7-Eleven, and its owner was so stunned that he offered him a lifetime supply of free Slurpees. Edit. If anyone does not believe, here is a photo. Edit 2. Forgot to add that the tattoo is complete crap. Ha ha ha. My friend's younger sister has Anthony's bitch tattooed in big letters, in gothic style, on her tailbone. She did this crap when she was 16. Soon they broke up. As for me, the tattoo artist is a complete bastard for agreeing to tattoo this on a child. Wow, even for a 16-year-old girl, this is somehow too stupid. The tattoo master clearly should not have taken this job. When everyone was crazy about Twilight, a mom dragged her 14-year-old daughter to our salon and asked us to give the girl a vampire bite on her neck. Like 2 small holes with a neat trickle of blood. We, understandably, refused this. In response, the ladies got angry and left. A few years later I see this girl again, and it looks like she got her way after all. On her neck were 2 huge holes the size of a quarter. And thick streaks of blood all over her neck. Apparently, some dump still took on this job. I always ask this when asked to tattoo the name of a spouse or lover. I told my husband right away, if you ever decide to put my name on yourself, I will punch you. He already has a tattoo with a heart made of my birthstone. There are 2 tattoos with our children's names. Last Friday our 3rd son was born, and now he is going to make another heart for him. But he says even if we break up someday, he will still not regret anything because I am the mother of his children. My tattoo artist said that once a crack-addicted client showed up and asked to tattoo Lisa Simpson in a very obscene pose. He was instantly sent to hell. Why did you send your tattoo artist away? He just told you a funny story. My buddy in the early 2000s tattooed a portrait of Bill Cosby on his back. Poor thing, I think he regrets it very much now. My buddy got drunk and tattooed 3 sixes and 3 inverted crosses under his lip. He was not a Satanist or anything, we just thought we were cool guys back then. Thanks a lot for watching. In the comments, tattoo artists, share stories when you said to a client, "Are you sure you want to tattoo this?" And do not forget to watch our other awesome episodes. Bye.